Hello and thanks for watching. Well, I think everybody's probably had their fill of politics this week, so I'm going to leave that out and just going to mention a couple of things that perhaps don't always get into the mainstream news. The first thing I saw earlier this week was another new theory about the sinking of the Titanic. Now, of course, I think it's just a theory at this stage, but of course they're, as usual with these documentaries, they're pretty adamant that this is how it happened. And of course it's all to do with the fire in the bunker, which you probably know about, and how the heat from that pretty heated up the doors, watertight doors, and weakened the steel. So when the iceberg hit, the steel was weakened and pretty much caused the disaster due to the fire. Now I don't think these fire bunkers were that unknown. I think they did happen, if not regularly, on the odd occasion. So anyway, if you see that documentary come out, have a look, see what you think. Now another thing was, some scientists have decided that the moon is actually older than we thought. Now it's somewhere between 40 and 140 million years older than they previously believed. I don't suppose that's a huge number when we're talking about billions of years, but however, I suppose that's given them something to do for a while. Now it might be a good idea to check your attic, because there have been some auctions lately, and if you've got something lying up there that was handled or used by someone famous, that certainly knocks up the price. See, there's a telephone coming up that Hitler used, and be going for up to $500,000. So have a look in the attic, see what you think. Now just before I go, I'd just like to mention one very sad piece of news, and that is about all the pilot whales which are stranded at the top of the South Island of New Zealand. Over 400 of them, and then the next day about another 180. So I'd like to say thank you to the dozens or hundreds of volunteers who turned out to try and help these poor creatures, but unfortunately hundreds have died, and so it's very sad indeed, very sad. Okay, well that's it for this week, Sunday, February the 12th, and we'll see you again next week. Don't worry about that, it's just a cell phone. Okay then, bye for now, see you next week, cheerio.